you can't swim in. Better think twice before you dive into that water. What you gonna do when the game is over? When you realize...
Hey guys, Liz here, aka Isabelle Cheren. I was just sitting here today and I thought, you know what, I fancy doing a vlog. I fancy chatting. I haven't done one for a little while. I've been so busy, it's been absolutely nuts, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sit down for 5, or maybe 10, or maybe 20, who knows, because you know me, once I get talking, I just can't stop. Anyhow, you're probably thinking, oh, she's in the snow. Actually, I bought some mainland. I've been having a little bit of fun with myself, as you do. I bought some mainland, and, first of all, it took me days to scour mainland. Oh my God! The prices people charge for a bit of mainland. What? And I have to say, the people that pay it, what? More money than brains, I say. I am absolutely astounded how much people pay for mainland. So I bought mine for 1,999 lindens, a 1024 metres square plot of land. I thought, well, that's not too sad, actually. That's not too bad. The one next to me, exactly the same size, 9,500 lindens. And I'm like, oh, give me strength. Wow. But, you know, that I can understand. It's roadside, you know, land and all that kind of thing. So I can understand that. So I can understand protected land where you've got the roadside. So it's you know, prime estate, as they say, to be by the road or to be by a beach or with a view of a beach. And the amount that I went, you know, it's got when you're looking on the Second Life search part for land and mainland, I love how people title their land. So I will look at you get that sort of like the name of the land or whatever it is, description, and it will say with beautiful ocean view. Yeah. The amount of times that I went to beautiful ocean view, and it was like, you know, the furthest away from the ocean it could be. And you could see between two buildings. It's just hilarious. I mean, I'm just like, and the thing is, unless you have your draw distance up, this is another thing that people don't realise when they go searching for land. When you get there, shove your draw distance up, have a good look around. Now, you travel around on mainland, I mean, most people in their SL don't put their graphics settings up really high. They go around and, you know, you see something, you see, oh, water, that looks lovely. Oh, that's roadside, that looks lovely. But you need to put your draw distance up to actually see what is around you before you make that decision. And believe me, I did, and I was just astounded. Like, I found one that was, when I had my draw distance down, I thought, oh, this looks lovely. Waterland, there's no one around. When I put my draw distance back up, it was a chock-a-block full of people living on the water. And when I looked down underneath, like there was the water around me, but when I looked down underneath, like it was just chock-a-block full of people living down there as well. And I'm like, okie dokie. So you don't really, you might have a small view, but you don't have much of one. But I've gone around and there's been like little plots of land, I kid you not, a little plot of land of 512 metres square for 125,000 lindens. If you've got 125,000 lindens to spend on a 512 metre square plot of land, have you ever thought about buying yourself a real life house? I mean, have you? Because seriously, would you? Nah. Anyhow, it's just amused me. So anyhow, I bought myself my little plot of land. I decided to buy a 1024 metre square because I kind of like gave up my linden home a little while ago. I don't really use them, I'll be honest. I mean, I always end up with my own land because I do so much filming and stuff. I need to have the prims, and I'm a real beach person, even in the virtual world, and I love to have that sort of scenic outlook. It's my mind space, because when I go in, it's my creative mind space, and I love to have that aesthetically pleasing look because, you know, in reality, let's face it, we don't. Although I do, to be fair, I've got a lake and, you know, I'm lucky. But anyhow, so, and as I'm a premium member, I thought, well, I'm going to go and get this land. What the heck? And, yeah. So it's in the snowy lands area. I thought I'd go somewhere different because I looked for beaches and actually it was very disappointing. Or you'd get like a hillside one. Oh my God, the hillside ones. And you'd sort of look at it and you go, yeah, there's no terraforming here. What am I going to create here? And I guess you could be, I don't know, experimental, but hell no, that's not for me. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to look at Snowland because winter's coming, and I did. And I found this plot of land and it's opposite a snowy mountain. Now, this land has got like, you know, that grassy sort of snowy little, like a sprinkling of dust of snow. And I thought, well, no, I want more snow. So actually I've created my own snow. Good old Liz, Resoprim. Give it a snow texture, cover it in snowy items, and voila, this is what we've got. So this is my little place for the winter, and yeah, and I just wanted to show it to you. And I've still got 20 prims left to spare. And I'm like quite proud of myself actually. I have 20 prims left, and which is nice to have because, you know, when you're sitting at the dining room table and whatever, and you've got to res your food and you've got people over, you just need those prims for the props and stuff. So I'm actually quite pleased with this. I might change the bed inside. I don't know. I fancy something a bit more sort of snowy. I don't know. But yeah, it just got me on I haven't done any of this land stuff, and I mean this mainland stuff for quite a while. I used to always buy and sell in SL land and always try and make a little bit of money on it, but to be fair, it's you have to think logically about it. You can spend more on your tier, you know. I mean, I went crazy and went right over my tier, and I was spending a lot of money. And then when you come to sell it, you may not get what you want. There was a time I did get what I wanted, and it was fabulous, but it's a lot harder now, I think. And actually, unless the land is fairly lag-free, and a lot of mainland can be quite laggy, no one wants to buy it. So, I mean, I did go to various, I mean, we're talking loads actually, not various, loads of mainland sims to look around for the land. Some I would go in, had so much lag, I just thought, nah, I didn't even bother. I didn't care what the land looked like, because what was the point? There was no point. The whole idea of the mainland, especially by the roads, is that you can drive your little car, and my Pixel, she likes to run. She likes to go jogging. It's one of those things. But if you can't do that, what's the point? So there's no point to me. And then I found this, and I was walking around here, and I was like, oh, my FPSs are at 40 to 50. That's not bad for mainland. In fact, that's rather good for me. So I continued to look around here, and this is what I found. And it's a nice little plot, except my neighbour's a bit of a pain. I put up a hedge, right? You can see my hedge. Now, seriously, I got Rosie to come over and have a look. I said, every day I looked in, the guide send me back my whole hedge. My whole hedge is linked, right? That goes around my house. Because it went over, one or two triangles? Honestly, not a problem. He doesn't even live there. I mean, seriously, over that little yellow line, I mean, we're talking a smidgen, he kept sending me back. He kept sending me back my fence, and I'd find it in my lost and found folder. I'm like, what? Kept putting it back. Anyhow, Rosie came and adjusted it, so to try and make sure that this wasn't going to happen again. Let's hope. I mean, really, I think there's an etiquette that you have when you're living close door to neighbours. And my etiquette is you're always neighbourly. So the first thing I would do if someone had put a centimetre of dirt on my land, both in real life and virtual world, I just message them and go, hey, that dirt doesn't go with my dirt. Or in his case, I should have said, I would expect him to say, hey, your hedge, 2 leaves are in my land. Not that it affects my land impact, but I don't like how that looks. But he didn't even do that. He just sends them back. Do you know, I don't know how that works. I've never worked out how that works, how they can send a whole lot back when the core of your res is actually in the middle. And my core is all linked to my one piece of stone. So that goes with it. So I don't know, but that's something I've got to learn. But yeah, I mean, there is such a thing as being neighbourly, and there is such a thing as communicating with people that, if you really don't like something, letting them know. Don't be rude. But funny thing is, the place next door is actually up for sale. No one actually resides there or lives there. It's just up for sale. I think this guy's got like a few properties, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, it's just kind of rude. And actually, I can see maybe why people have moved out before, because if it's this kind of neighbourliness, I might be putting up a huge pink erection. Actually, to be fair, yesterday I did. I said to Rosie, well, this is it then. I'm putting up my ban lines. So I put up my ban lines. I rarely ever put ban lines up. I hate them with a passion. I think they're the worst thing they're the worst thing for neighbourhoods. It's awful. I don't like ban lines. But just for one day, I've actually put up ban lines just to irritate him. I'm going to remove it today. And because I've actually got an orb. I could put a security orb, and I've got my friends on there so they can go. But I did put up a brick wall on the other side of my hedge, butted it right up against the hedge, and Rosie's got edit rights, and she coloured it bright pink, like fluorescent pink, and it was on bright. And I said, I can't leave this. And then I laughed and went, yeah, okay. And then I thought, nah. And so I put it back to the normal brick. And then I thought, no, I'll just put it back. So, he's got a pleasant outlook, because obviously, after all, he's trying to sell his land. Yeah. Just... This reminds me of those TV shows, your neighbourhood disputes that you can get. Yeah. The neighbours that, catch you on camera. I might do that. I might put security cameras. Oh, I did say to Rosie, though, I might use my bots, actually. I'm going to put my bots in Kevin outfits, Kevin from GTA, and have them on a stepladder peering over the fence. When I do, I'll post a photo here on YouTube in my communities tab, because I just think that would just be the greatest thing ever. So I think I'm going to do that later today. I'm going to dress them back up, because I do have them in GTA costumes, obviously, because when Thelma does her thing with Trevor. So I might do that, but yeah, it just cracks me up. As you will have noticed, I put a thing on my channel about teamseas. I don't know, I got this email that I was invited into it, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I guess a lot of YouTubers were invited into it. I am unfortunately not of the big over 10,000 people that can have a donate button on my page. But if you go and watch that video, and if you really are into the climate change and the environment and saving the oceans, they're trying to raise 30 million before the end of the year. And you know what? That's really doable if everybody bothered. You don't have to put in a lot. Honestly, you don't have to put in a lot. I put in £10 because basically, I'm not rich, but £10. But I mean, some people have put in like £5 or, $5 or whatever. You just put it, even if you put in $1 or £1, depending on where you are in the world, every penny helps. And so for every dollar they collect, it's like it goes towards actually how much rubbish they can get rid of. And I just think we all need to do something. And I mean, some people just like me, I mean, the opportunity to conservate it's really hard when you think we live in this modern world and we've got all this technology and all these things that we use and stuff. So I'm trying to be a lot more careful. I'm trying to source, for example, I'm trying to source a milk supplier that will deliver milk in bottles. Yes, it might cost me 50 pence more, but do you know what? Saves the environment, actually, and keeps the milk farms, milkmen in jobs and stuff. And they also deliver vegetables. I'm not sure if I'll do that, but there's organic shops by me. So, I'm going to do things like not buy your vegetables. It was so easy to buy your veggies and they're pre-packed. Well, why are we doing that? Number one, it costs more. And number two, that plastic has to somehow break down, and it's not, and it's wasted. And you've got all of this stuff that just can't break down properly, and it's causing so much problems for the world. I'm not going to say I'm not going to fly back to Australia. That's something that would be very difficult. I'm not going to lie about that. You know, if I can get home to Australia and visit, I will, because frankly I can't swim that far. I try, but yeah, I don't think I'd get there. Sharks would eat me first. But I'm hoping that they're going to work on making the environment safer in terms of flights and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what is the answer? I mean, our government currently is doing the COP26, so they're holding it here with all these leaders from around the world. And that's happening in Glasgow. And Greta Thunberg's there. Now, whatever you may think about her, and I know a lot of people think of her as a jumped up teenager, blah, 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 blah. I actually quite admire her. I admire her tenacity, that she sees and understands and wants to fight for something. You don't have to agree with the fact that she's young, but why can't you agree with her in her view of what it is? She's not stupid. She's got tenacity, and no matter what people throw at her, she's still doing it. Whereas I see a lot of people just, you know, it's like a fad with them. Oh yeah, and then they're onto something else. And actually, she's been doing it for a number of years now, and I just think, good on you, girl. I think there's a lot to be learned from people that are outspoken, that really show commitment to something, and I do admire her. And as a mother, I would be proud of her, which I'm sure her parents are. I don't care what people think about her or whatever. I just think that actually she's pretty cool, actually, for a person of her age, and it's something to be admired when you can stand up to some of the dumbest world leaders and there are some right dumb ones out there, and actually speak your piece. And I think for that, kudos to her. Plus she's a girl, you know. Hey, kudos. So yeah, I'm into that at the moment, and in my blogs I'm going to keep re-putting that video in, so that hopefully people that read my blog might go, oh yeah, okay, I'll click on it. Because unfortunately my videos don't really reach many people, and you know, they don't get that many views. But do you know what, my 60 views might make a difference to 2 people that would actually do something about it. And that's how I see it. It doesn't matter, I don't have to have tens of thousands of views, but if the message is getting out to 1 or 2 people out of that 60 people, I think that is something. And I'm doing it everywhere now. So everything I'm adding, the donate button on my TikToks and stuff like that, because why not? You know, I've got nothing to lose. And next payday, I'll put a donation in again. And then the payday December, I'll put a donation in again, because do you know what? That's the right thing to do. And I just think people always say to me, oh, but I can't afford it. And then they'll tell me they went shopping on the weekend and they bought themselves a new game for their PC or whatever. And I just sit there and think, really? or they've just, oh yeah, I'm just picking up my Costa. I'll be with you soon. I said, well, did you need to have a Costa? Because actually I could have made you a drink. And it's those moments that you need to stop and ask yourself, well, actually, do I need this? Or can I put it towards this? My $1 or $2 could actually pay for this. So yeah, I'd like you all to stop and think, and I'll put the information underneath this video. I'll put the link to the video underneath this video, and I'll put the information, and it's up to you. Other than that, I'm absolutely exhausted lately. I'm so exhausted, it's not funny. I am actually undergoing tests with the doctors. Oh, believe me, I've had a nightmare. Oh my god. Lucky you're not in my real life, believe me. I have had a nightmare with the doctors, and I won't elaborate on it now, but finally some tests are being done. Basically I had a kidney test done, and it was sent to my home to do a home test, and I was like, really? And then, of course, no one rang me for a good 6 weeks. I didn't hear from any doctors, and so I contacted the testing people. I said, well, and they said, oh no, the test results go to your GP the same day that you do the test. It's electronic. I was like, oh right. So I ended up ringing the doctors. I said, oh, is my test there? And the receptionist said, oh, yeah, it's abnormal. I can't discuss it with you. I'm like, well, you've had it for 6 weeks. And yeah, okay. And so she got a GP to ring me up, who then apologised and said, we've realised that sending these test kits out aren't actually working because it doesn't give you the degree of abnormality, blah, 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 blah. And so I had to redo the test. I went in to redo the test and the receptionist was not very helpful. Okay, let me just, before I end this video, I'm going to tell you what happened. I had to do what they call an ACR. I think it's ACR test, right? So unlike your normal tests, they go into a little cup thing with a lid on it. These tests, you have to, then it has to be syringed up into a syringe and that goes off. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Anyhow, so I went in and I said to the receptionist, I'm here to do my test. And she said, what test that? She was quite rude. And I said, I'm here to do the ARC test for my kidneys. And she said, well, I've got nothing here. And I said, no, the doctor told me that if it wasn't there, if it hadn't been prepared, it's the yellow syringe test. Oh, right. So she gets it out the drawer, throws it at me. And I said, can I go use the loo then? So I went to the loo. When I got in there, you know what it's like. You sit down, you open up the packet, and it's a syringe. There's no cup thing in it. And I'm like, oh my God. I literally sat on the toilet in the doctor's surgery, peeing in a syringe. I kid you not. Basically peeing all over my hand. And I mean, if anyone walked past those toilets, they would have heard me going, oh, for God's sake, oh, for God's sake. Peeing in a syringe. My aim is way off. But anyhow, I managed it. I did manage it because I used my brains and took the syringe end off and just went, put it in. So I clean up everything, wipe everything, go out to reception, it's in the bag, put it back in the bag, and I said to her, okay, here it is. I said, how will they know it's mine? Well, didn't you write your name on it? And I went, no, I didn't. So she throws a pen at me. So I wrote my name and date of birth on this tiny syringe. And then I gave it to her. And she literally barely touched it. I don't know. Obviously, I looked like I was contagious of something. And I don't know what she did with it after that, but when I rang up a week later, no one can find it. No one can find it. I rang up a few times. Anyhow, fast forward. I was saying to a friend, I'm so sick of this. I've not been seen by anybody. I have to have kidney tests every 6 months. It's been well over a year. I haven't had the kidney tests. I have to have them not only because I'm diabetic, but also because of the medication. I take a cocktail of medication, and one of the medications I take is inherent, which the pharmacy have said you need to keep an eye on it because it will affect the kidneys. So I'm fully aware of it. Anyhow, so she said to me, you're going to have to lie to them. So I did. I rang up the receptionist last week. Oh, please, this is funny. I rang up the receptionist and I said, oh, I need to speak to a GP. Oh, no, there's no more phone appointments left. You're going to have to ring up this afternoon. I said, I can't ring up this afternoon. I'm in a meeting. Well, then you're going to have to ring up tomorrow. I said, well, look, it's really important. And, oh, well, what's the problem? No, since when do you need to tell the receptionist? But anyhow, I just lied and I said to her, I've got a UTI infection. Wow, within 2 seconds, man. It was like, okay, I'll arrange for the doctor to call you back. The doctor called me back, and it was my favourite doctor, Dr. Mary. And she's an American lady, absolutely the best doctor I've ever had here in the UK. Because you don't want the national health people here. Honestly. I think some doctors have been trained a lot better, and she has definitely been trained a lot better. She's got such a good bedside manner and such time for her patients. She rang me and she said, you haven't got a UTI, have you? And I went, no. And she laughed and she said, I've looked at your notes. I can see what's been going on. She said, this is absolutely disgusting. And she was so good. And she said, right, have you got one of those kits? And I said, yes, I do, because I get given them by their diabetic nurse. She said, I want you just to pop it up. If you've got any problem, tell them that it has to go to her. So I did that. I did that yesterday, and good God, it was the same receptionist. And she looked at me. She said, do you have an appointment? And I said, nope. I smiled at her, and she's like, what's that? And I said, that is my pee. Really loud in the doctor's surgery. And I said, that is for you to let the doctor know it's here and then get it tested. Because you lost the other one, didn't you? I don't normally confront people. And I said, could you do that? Dr. Mary Yu is waiting for this. I didn't tell you her real name. I'm just making up the name. But anyhow, I've just walked out there quite chuffed with myself. And next week I've got an appointment for bloods and to see the doctor for a double appointment. But it's taken me 17 months. 17 months during the whole of this COVID situation. Now, can you imagine there's people that have not been seen that have been diagnosed with cancer and have passed away because they weren't treated? And it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And that's the reality of it. I mean, I haven't got anything as serious wrong with me, but how do I know? No, I haven't, because I know I haven't. But it's poor treatment. And the funniest thing is they're going to put our national insurance rates up. So we're going to have to pay more in tax for national insurance. And I'm thinking, why? Why? We can't even see a doctor. If you read about the news about a mad Australian woman protesting on the streets of London outside number 10 Downing Street, that'd be me. Anyhow, I just felt like a chat. Have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.
I think I told you not to trust her. She's all about that game. Don't go and fall in love with that girl. She will only cause you pain. Don't think she loves you, she don't mean it. Just look the other way. She's coming at you, you better run before she leaves your heart in vain. She is cold as ice, deep blue sea, you can't swim in. Better think twice before you dive into